Coming to you today from Atlanta.
This may turn out to be the summer of the serial killer. First Milwaukee, now investigations across the South into mysterious deaths. Was one nurse responsible for 18 deaths in Atlanta and Birmingham?
The local police came back and said it's too big. We want the State Bureau of Investigation.
Did a confessed killer in Gulfport murder 60 people?
He's given information that only the killer could know.
Today, a special report on the latest allegation.
Swiss is in. Chicago, we're coming to you first.
Audio check, 1, 2.
There's LA.
Hello, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching Inside Edition today. This seems to be the summer of the serial killer in America. First, the revelations 3 weeks ago about mass killings in Milwaukee, and now several cities in the South are shaken by reports that there may have been serial killers living among them. One of the cases is in Gulfport, Mississippi, and we'll tell you about that one in just a few moments. The other story was broken by our affiliate, WAGA, here in Atlanta, and starts at a place where you would never suspect a serial killer, a major big city hospital. Atlanta, Georgia is waiting to see if a trusted nurse is really an angel of death. The state is probing a former Atlanta male nurse for possible involvement in a series of deaths that occurred within the supposedly safe confines of 2 Atlanta hospitals. The man under investigation is 35-year-old veteran trauma specialist nurse Joseph Aiken, who worked in the Atlanta area during the past 8 years. In an exclusive interview with Inside Edition, Georgia State Attorney General Michael Bowers traced the investigation.
Sometime in early December of 1990, individuals affiliated with the North Fulton Regional Hospital came to the Georgia Board of Nursing and said, we have a problem. We have some suspicious deaths. The authorities of the State Board of Nursing took a look at the information and said, we agree, but we think the problem is more in the nature of potential criminal violations.
Using information provided by 4 nurses, the nursing board determined that there was an unusually high amount of code blue alerts during the shifts worked by Aiken. Code blue alerts are incidents where a patient's heart becomes distressed, requiring immediate life-saving care. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that the number of code blue life or death situations almost tripled in the 6 months that Joseph Aiken worked at Fulton County Hospital. The Roswell, Georgia Police Department then picked up the investigation from the Board of Nursing.
The local police came back and said it's too big. We want the State Bureau of Investigation.
The state investigation soon spread to Atlanta's Baptist Hospital, where Aiken worked from 1989 to 90. There, too, they found suspicious intensive care unit deaths. They also learned of allegations that Aiken was forced to leave Baptist Hospital as well as North Fulton County because he was suspected of lying on his resume.
Sometime in late July of 1991, the Georgia Board of Nursing considered allegations concerning Aikens with respect to falsification of qualifications.
According to files obtained by the press, the investigation also found that medicine capable of causing code blues was stolen from North Fulton Hospital. Aiken has not officially been linked to those thefts, nor has he been charged in any of the mysterious deaths. We went to the home of Joe Aiken to get a reaction, but nobody was home. Aiken's lawyer, John Matchison, says his client has no idea what's going on, but in reaction to publicity, Aiken has surrendered his nursing license. Meantime, the possibility that some hospitals may not be safe has shaken the city of Atlanta.
If you just joined us, we're talking about the investigation underway with the deaths of 18 critical care patients.
If he is guilty, he needs to be stopped.
Authorities continue to search for clues that could explain the high number of code blues and subsequent deaths at the Atlanta hospitals. But they say they're nowhere near charging anyone in this case. Joe Aiken, having been fired from 2 area hospitals, got work in Alabama as a nurse. He is also being investigated there.
If the information which I have received concerning a number of deaths of patients in hospitals is accurate, it's a tragedy. There's no question about it.
But the story does not end in Atlanta. As we told you, authorities in Birmingham, Alabama, are looking into problems at yet another hospital, a hospital where Nurse Aiken worked. Janet Tamaro picks up the story.
I can tell you that we do have an ongoing investigation into a suspicious death that occurred at Cooper Green Hospital. The suspect that we are looking into is a male nurse.
So far, that's all police will say about their growing investigation into Joseph Aiken in Birmingham, Alabama, even though Aiken has not yet been charged with anything.
Any charges being brought at this point?
At this time, there have been no warrants obtained.
Just 2 weeks after Joe Aiken was hired by Cooper Green Hospital, 32-year-old patient Robert Price went into cardiac arrest and died after Aiken tried to revive him. Hospital authorities say Aiken would have been fired after that suspicious death, but he never came back to work. Officials now say Aiken was fired from at least 5 hospitals in Georgia and Alabama. In at least 2 of those cases, he was fired for falsifying his credentials. But Robert Price, who was one of Aiken's patients, didn't know anything about the nurse who just started caring for him. Price had been in the hospital for nearly a year with a rare blood disease when he suddenly went into code blue on March 27th of this year.
The night he died, I was just getting off work, and they called us and told us that he was on his way out.
He was dying.
Right, and when we got to the hospital, we went in there and talked to him, but he didn't recognize no one. He just laying up there.
After his death, his family says the hospital wouldn't give them his death certificate.
Then after the 6th week, they wouldn't give us one. So that's when we kind of got suspicious. And my wife kept calling the coroner's office, so he finally told her about a foul play.
Since March, police say they've been investigating Price's death after hospital employees claimed Aiken was seen leaving Price's room shortly after Price died.
Did the doctors tell you what your son had died from?
They said he was gave an overdose of lidocaine.
He was given an overdose of a drug.
Right.
And that's what killed him.
And that's what killed him, stopped his heart from beating.
Joe Aiken's attorney has said he doubts authorities have any evidence against his client. But Clarence Price says what happened to his son will make him fear hospitals forever.
Well, I don't know what to think, because me, I'd be afraid to go there myself now.
One person involved in this case is Bambi Plumley, who won a $750,000 judgment against a hospital in Atlanta. She claims that Joseph Aiken was the nurse on duty when she was injected with a drug that sent her into cardiac arrest. Ms. Plumley joins us right now. Are you sure it was Aiken who did that to you?
Yes, I'm positive.
Positive. You saw his face on television. That was the first time you put it together, right?
I had actually read it in the newspaper and seen a picture of him, and that's when I put it together.
How did you feel when you saw the guy?
It frightened me. I was shocked whenever I saw it.
As a nurse, I mean, how bad is this violation of trust of patients?
Well, it's something that is going to cause a lot of people to distrust nurses in hospitals, which I think they should not. It's not something that happens.
And it's just terrible, just that you're lying there as a patient and all of a sudden, boom, into cardiac arrest. Bambi, thank you very much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, Atlanta and Birmingham are not the only southern cities investigating allegations of a serial killing spree. As our special report continues, we will go to Mississippi, where authorities want to know if they have a monster or a charlatan in custody.
Come to the Isuzu Invitational and you might discover that you're a real trooper, because you'll like the four-wheel drive with auto-locking hubs, tough four-wheel disc brakes, and knowing you got the best buy in town. Best of all, you'll love saving up to $2,300 more. So hurry, the Isuzu Invitational is the perfect time to be a trooper and to compare and save, or really just save, because with Isuzu, there's no comparison. Save on Trooper at your local Milwaukee Isuzu dealer.
Charming, successful, dynamic.
Steven?
Everyone who loved him
Nobody knew anything about Steven.
had a reason to kill him.
Could have been anybody.
I want names. Who are you protecting? Someone's lying.
Who? Defenseless. Rated R.
Starts Friday, August 23rd at a theater near you.
Ooh, you want the best?
I don't believe we've been introduced.
Yeah, we got it.
You ain't just whistling Dixie Cup.
Channel 12 is stirring it up just the way you want it.
Turning me on.
And everybody's coming back for more of the kind of class that you've been looking for. Wisconsin's watching 12. Channel 12.
Hallelujah.
We got the best and everyone
Rosin, 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 Rosin.
Own a cream puff from our great selection of quality used cars.
Get peace of mind.
Because each car carries a seal of automotive integrity for best price, best selection, and peace of mind.
Rosin, 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 Nissan Suzuki.
Rosin, 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 Rosin.
Nissan Suzuki.
And now the other case that has lawmen across the South concerned. It starts in Mississippi and may spread to other states. A drifter from Texas claims he murdered 60 people. Is he a mass killer or a diabolical fake? Joel Loy has the latest.
If what 34-year-old Donald Leroy Evans says is true, he is America's deadliest serial killer. Charged earlier this month in Mississippi for the kidnapping, assault, and murder of 10-year-old Beatrice Louise Routh, Evans has confessed to murdering over 60 people in as many as 20 states in a bloody spree which he says began in 1977. A drifter, Evans says he now wants to pay the price with the death penalty.
His exact words was that he has lived throughout his life by the sword, and he feels that he must perish by the sword.
Federal investigators gathered today in Gulfport to attempt to link the dozens of murders Evans has confessed to crimes actually committed.
We intend to do a long, solid, grinded out, confirm it sort of investigation, just so we don't get into problems that have sometime arisen in these cases which are naturally spectacular, and we can't avoid that.
So far, authorities can attribute only 3 murders to Donald Evans. First, Beatrice Louise Routh, a little homeless girl who was found dead, raped and strangled in a wooded area in southern Mississippi. The girl was last seen alive by her mother when she allowed Evans to take her daughter to a local convenience store. The 2 other murders were in Florida, one in Fort Lauderdale, where a prostitute was found dead in a hotel room in 1985.
Roughly, he said that, or the information that we was given led us to believe that he was in the Fort Lauderdale area back in March of '85, that he had killed a black female prostitute in the North Federal Highway area.
This woman, 38-year-old Janet Movich, may be the 3rd of Evans' known victims. Her lifeless body was found in Daytona Beach, Florida in April of 1985. At the time, reportedly the only unsolved murder in Daytona in 20 years.
The authorities are convinced that has been confirmed that Mr. Evans gave them information that only the person or persons there at the scene at the time of the murder would have known some of the facts.
Evans says he began killing after leaving the Marine Corps. He was convicted after assaulting a woman at knife point. His parole officer says she was shocked at Evans' confession.
So I think he was a loner, yes. But a very talkative person again. He would come across to you as a very friendly person that would open up to you.
Evans says he chose mostly women as his victims. He says he picked up many of them in rural areas, campsites, and that many of them were prostitutes. As authorities from around the country try to piece together Evans' alleged killing spree, some others wonder if Evans should be believed.
Officers are trying to put all this together from what the defendant is telling them, and then trying to verify that, in fact, those crimes did happen in those areas.
And joining us now is Lawrence Evans from Augusta, Georgia. Lawrence is Donald Evans' brother. I know you told me you had no idea of Donald's activities, the things he's admitted to, but what happened when you saw him on television saying, I killed 60 people?
I was absolutely devastated. I didn't see that part on television. I read that in the newspaper. The part that I saw was the clip that was on America's Most Wanted.
Were you surprised?
Totally. Absolutely totally.
Was there anything in Donald's background that lent itself to this?
I don't know what would, other than possibly his family environment and the environment in which he grew up.
Which was?
A very turbulent family life, severe physical and mental abuse while he was growing up.
He was beaten?
Yes.
By?
By his mother primarily, and gang members and things like that in the neighborhood in which he grew up.
Now, I understand you tried to help him. He actually lived with you for 6 months, but then you threw him out.
Yes, he became a threat to my children, and I was unable to control him, so I had no choice but to send him back to his mother.
How did he become a threat to your kids?
He started becoming verbally abusive and physically abusive to the children, and I just couldn't have that with my family.
Did you talk to him about it?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
I even worked through the schools with the counselors to get them to talk to him, and it was no success.
What did he say when you said, stop being so abusive?
He said, I'm not being abusive. And just continue to do the same thing that he'd always done, and be abusive.
I know you want to say something to the American public about this. You can go ahead right now.
Thank you. I'd like to express my personal and my family's deepest and sincerest condolences to the family of the little girl who so tragically lost her life here a few days ago. I know that my words can't replace the little child, nor can any words I say overcome the grief that you must now be experiencing. But my prayers are with you. Thank you.
And thanks for being here with us, Mr. Evans. Thank you very much. A very troubling story. And we will be back from Atlanta in just a moment.
Ground transportation arranged through General Rent-A-Car. When on the move, do it in style and save money with quality Chrysler cars, great low rates, and free unlimited mileage. General Rent-A-Car. Inside Edition will continue in a moment.
Milk's great in my cereal, but in my coffee, I like Coffee Mate. Makes my coffee taste rich and creamy. Milk in my cereal, Coffee Mate in my coffee.
Coffee Mate from Carnation. What you put in coffee, even when there's milk around.
They ate the same lunch, got the same heartburn, but his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Regular Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. This uses aluminum and magnesium. So does this. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums. That's the one you want.
Carnation Instant Breakfast. You gotta love it in an instant.
Start your day with nutritious, delicious Carnation Instant Breakfast in regular or diet.
Carnation Instant Breakfast. You gotta love it in an instant.
Hurry to your Toyota dealers right away because year-end clearance prices are really dropping. Toyota Corolla, you can get a value pack Corolla starting under $10,000. Right now, you can get factory-to-dealer incentives on Corolla and special option package savings for huge savings that really add up, plus additional dealer discounts which may save you even more. Hurry to your Toyota dealer for the big year-end clearance. It's the one you've been watching out for.
That was Roman Strauss. That was his wife, Margaret. He stabbed her in the throat.
If she's the woman she used to be.
A lot more people on this planet believe in past lives than don't.
So you think I'm crazy?
If he's the man she thinks he is.
I'm not Roman!
Then the love and death of Roman and Margaret Strauss has begun. All over again. Dead Again. Rated R. Starts Friday, August 23rd at theaters everywhere.
And now, here's what's upcoming on Inside Edition.
Can you see the baby's head? Yes.
A 10-year-old hero helps deliver his own baby sister.
Is it a boy or a girl? It's a girl.
Jonathan to the rescue.
I was shocked, I was scared, and I was excited all at the same time.
Plus, Inside Edition goes undercover inside America's high-tech war on drugs.
That's tomorrow. And one final note today from Atlanta. Things are moving very quickly in the two alleged mass murder cases here, and we will stay on these stories for you. And that is it today for us. Thank you for watching. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We all hope to see you again tomorrow.
How did we discover the secret taste of Kellogg's Mueslix? We searched Europe, but no one would tell us everything. But to make Kellogg's Mueslix cereal, we had to discover why this mysterious combination of sweet fruit, hearty grains, and nuts was so jealously guarded. It's a wonder we found this uncommonly delicious taste. Oh, but aren't you glad we did? Kellogg's Mueslix, the European secret for great taste.
American bought Sealy bedding for 25% less with special covers that are better than regular covers. You'd expect to pay $160 for a queen-size Sealy. With a special cover like this, it's just $99, not a twin or a full. A queen-size Sealy, just $99. American Special Sealy Buy includes twin, full, and queen size. Look for this plush Sealy. It's just $57. Queen size Sealy quilted are $99. Plush Sealy's are on sale at American. Offer limited to 1,000 units. Special buy.
Enjoy your first day of school, dear. I'll be in the garden.
There's an easier way to be cool. Go to Drug Emporium's Back to School Zone for the hottest school supplies at deep discount prices.
Oh. Hi, Mom.
You'll save money. Your kids will save face.
This is Channel 12, your 24-hour news service.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Marty Burns-Wolf. Making news at 7, the United Nations says Iraq can sell up to $1.6 billion worth of oil so they can afford to buy things like food and medicine. A report in the journal Science says lasers may one day replace X-rays for breast cancer checks. The current procedure is a mammogram. And tonight, the place to be is New York Central Park, if you're a Paul Simon fan, that is. He's at the park's first free concert in 8 years. More news in an hour on Channel 12.